Hello, it's John, and welcome to the campsite that we're staying at here, Port Seaton in Edinburgh. Let me flip you around and show you. I'm taking a morning walk out. If you're wondering about my voice and my puffy face, it's because I've just slept for a long time. I think about 8 hours, more actually. I think maybe close to 9, and no shower yet. So we're about to go swimming, Patch and I. Patch and I are walking. Patch is not coming swimming. My wife, son, and I will be going swimming. And yeah, we arrived here yesterday. It was about, we went out for a late lunch at a really beautiful place at the Happy Lady Inn. Had this incredible vegan burger. And then we came back to the campsite and got set up and relaxed and watched The Apprentice, the UK Apprentice, with Alan Sugar. And after that, we just we were watching a documentary about someone with Tourette's. It was just a really moving and insightful documentary. And then we went to sleep, and after that, well, here I am, and I did do, my alarm went off at 5 a.m. because I forgot to disable it, and I did just sit up in bed and do meditation. And yeah, the message was really powerful, it was really beautiful, and it was talking about how we can never, it seems impossible to be able to fully relate to other people's traumas in our lives, to fully help someone. If someone says, I don't know, if they talk about a trauma that they've had in their lives, and on the face of things, on the surface, it would seem like I had something quite similar. We never experience things exactly the same way. Everyone's experiences are unique. And it's also not helpful for me to say, oh, I had exactly the same thing. But so instead, my guides were showing me that often what we do is we choose traumas in our lives that we're able to face and experience, and then work through the facing of that shadow, and the trauma, the feeling into it, acknowledgement, thanking for the lessons, releasing, forgiving, letting go, and apologizing for anything we did wrong. And that process, that journey, allows us to heal not just ourselves, but also it helps us lead by example in the planet. And also we often bring an end to ancestral wounds as well, and that's been a theme in some recent examples of client sessions. There's the crows out. Come on, Patch. But yeah, it's been a really fascinating, come on, Patch, a really fascinating week, and a lot of themes coming up. And one of them I mentioned very briefly in my live stream on Thursday with Viviani, was that I'd seen a Galactic Federation ship in cloud form during the week. I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday morning, and I asked, it was huge, absolutely huge, quite close and low down, and I asked what its name was. It said Celeste Centurion was its name, and that, or full name Celestial Century. And then there was this really interesting experience of, I was asking, what are you doing here? What work are you doing? So it seemed really busy. I said, we're working on the communication systems here on Earth, helping get through, a lot of the blocks and inequality especially in like social media algorithms. They said, for people like you, John, that are doing, spiritual work, and you're not getting promoted as fairly as others. I was like, oh, fascinating. And it felt like something, although they were doing work locally on the internet, it seemed like it was a global thing that they're working on. It's like, oh, that's lovely. But yeah, that's been so I said thank you very much. But it's also been a theme, some people feel that they're failures when they don't have large followings on social media, or their content doesn't get large followings. And I would just say, if you saw anything in my journey, in my experience, I think I was around 2,000 or 3,000 followers on YouTube, and I think I was coming up on 3,000, and I was just enough. I got almost nothing from YouTube itself, but I'd met just about enough customers to earn a living. And this is just before, this is up to and before I went on Linda G's show, and my customer base massively increased. So, Patch, we should turn around, so we need to go back and pick up the others for swimming. And yeah, it fascinates me that, because really what then happened was I got more customers and then they subscribed. And I think that's a really fascinating way of thinking about these things, is that, it's not the algorithms that decide how popular or successful you are. You do, and then they'll reflect that, right? Then they'll eventually catch up with you. So just my message to you, if you're starting a channel, you're thinking about it, or you've been doing it for weeks, months, or years, and you're feeling a bit demotivated, first of all, keep going. Let your vibration talk. Do the hard work, and focus on your vibration. It doesn't take tons and tons of content, as I experience. It just takes some focus on your self-care and self-love, decluttering yourself and your home, making sure you've got plenty of space and capacity to take on more, and and just what's the word? Be confident in yourself and your own abilities, and don't let others. I mean, if anyone had said to me, "Oh, John, this is," some people did say to me before I started my business that it seemed unlikely that it would be successful, or just kept questioning whether there'd be any, enough money in it to live off. And there absolutely is, and it has been successful, continues to be. And just know that it's okay when people share their opinions, but don't let it stop you, right? Don't let the fear of what they're saying stop you. I'm just going to pick up Patch's poo. Try not to get it on camera. It was funny. He was so desperate to go for a walk this morning that when I went to the toilet in the caravan, he was scratching at the door, and I was like, "You're not coming in. You really don't want to come in." But yeah, he's a lot of fun, and he does get me out, and he gets me out for a chat with you guys. Come on, Patch. Yeah, I remember the good old days of YouTube, where people in their first year would easily get like 1,000, 2,000 subscribers, and then things would just really take off. And I do feel the more naive algorithms were just, they seemed more fair, and they hadn't quite figured out the same the same way that they work today. I guess some of that is just the advertising has changed a lot as well. that there's a lot of these experiences of algorithms just really focusing on how to better advertise content to other people. And you know, when you think about your business, you think, oh, you know, my mission, I want to help, you know, thousands, one day millions of people around the world. And whilst, yes, you know, YouTube is, for me, has proven by far the most impactful, I don't feel it's because of their amazing algorithms that that's happened. And a lot of the time I feel like it's this kind of intervention of higher realms. You know, people say to me things like, it's like, I'd never heard of you before and you just randomly popped up on my feed, and it seemed to be coexisting, you know, in a moment where I really needed some calm or some music or a meditation. And I mean, it could be the algorithm. I know the algorithms do something called, it's funny, the term in artificial intelligence is called explore and exploit. And it simply means, like if YouTube channels were restaurants, it would mean going around different restaurants, so exploring, and then as soon as one you know, you like the taste of the food at a restaurant, you'd exploit it. So in other words, you just keep going back to it. So I know that does happen in the algorithm. So it could be that effect, the exploration side. This is the not so pretty side of the campsite, where it looks like they've been dismantling older trailers, or we'd call them static homes. And there's a big skip in front of me. So yeah, I just think keep going, keep following your heart, keep looking after yourself. You know, your self-care and self-love, like it's demonstrated to me, has been the biggest key to my success so far. Anyway, I hope this helps you. Take care, sending love.